Check, check. Yeah. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Chris Leslie Show. Wow, one of those evenings, 23 minutes behind schedule. So I think we will probably keep the behind-the-scenes time to a minimum, as 23 minutes have already passed from the time we actually intended to broadcast. So let's get right into this and see what happens. Whoa. Uh-oh. I sense sound problems, but check. Okay, hopefully they can be resolved. Okay, well, that was a random intro song just because I just picked the first song that I saw that I actually knew. So that's how we get things started out tonight. What is it today? December 15th, 2011. Oh my goodness, this means another year passed darn near, and we'll be all set for a new year. It's almost Christmas. Time flying by pretty quickly, and I was actually worried that it was a bit earlier, or I'm sorry, a little later in the month than it actually is, because on SingSnap, the karaoke site, it seems that everyone was has been wishing each other like a Merry Christmas for like the last month, and then I was just like, geez, is it already going to be Christmas? Because I heard someone talking about how they're going to have the week off next week, and I'm like, oh, that's fantastic. Best news I've heard all year. And then I was like, wow, it must be Christmas. But no, people are just getting into the spirit of things early. So people are excited for Christmas this year, is the general sentiment that I'm getting from that. So that's good to hear. And then earlier, I was just thinking, had something on my mind, and I couldn't get it off my mind. It was Bothell, Washington, and so I tried to get it off my mind, but it just wouldn't. I couldn't get it out of my head. So I did an extensive amount of research and dug up every possible fact from every crevice and corner, nook and cranny. I unearthed rocks. I probably preserved wetland. I disturbed wetlands, probably archaeological sites, to unearth everything I could find about Bothell, and which really actually only means that I just typed in Bothell, Washington, and I prayed with everything I had that I would see something that said Wikipedia. And you know what? My prayers were answered. So I was able to find a ton of information on Bothell, and some things that just you may already be aware of, but I wasn't, and it really surprised me. So I won't read everything because that would bore you to tears, but I will make one observation, is that the very first, the first known human inhabitants were the Samish Native Americans, who kind of hung out around Issaquah and Sammamish, you know, that whole area. They kind of chilled out around there, and when they were inhabiting the area undisturbed by any Europeans, their numbers in the area, in Bothell particularly, was about 200, and I was like, wow. So that's a pretty small localized number, but so Bothell's always been a small town, evidently. And so then I found that kind of interesting, and then today, well, as of the 2010 census, which is fairly recent, 33,505 inhabitants, people, dogs, cats, birds, living in the town. I wonder, actually, oh, that's a good question. I wonder if that includes like all the dogs that are at Tails of Wagon. That's a good question. But something to the effect of the Europeans came over here about 1856, and I was thinking, wow, that's kind of a long time ago. And then, you know, there were some land transactions, some backroom deals, and eventually this really grateful postmaster, who was happy to buy all this land, named it after the guy bought it from, who was a settler from Pennsylvania, and the guy's name was, guess what, Bothell. And so first industries, logging. It says there, you know, was farming was a big industry, but evidently I think that was probably a lot before my time, because I've not really seen a lot of evidence of farming in Bothell any time that I've ever been here. I think maybe the first time I stepped foot on the shores of Bothell was probably like 1987. And I haven't seen any farming, so that's news to me. And then, I don't know, this just sounds like a pretty generic quote. After World War II, better highways and a post-war boom brought suburban development to Bothell. I bet that paragraph before it says Bothell is just one of those fill in the blanks that like pretty much any town in any American city or town in the 20th century would apply to. That's within any sort of reasonable distance to a interstate. But this is kind of a big thing here. The Bothell transformed quite a bit in the 1990s, and a lot of people are probably aware of these things separately, but you may not, or as I didn't, think of them collectively at once. When you do it, it is kind of significant. Between sometime in the 90s and the early 2000s, you had there was a regional employment center, and supposedly that created 20,000 jobs. And I think that probably had something to do with when that just huge business center over by where the Times is and stuff was put in, something like that. And then there's a lot of biotechnology and software development, supposedly. And then the big one too, for education-wise, this is actually pretty huge, was when the University of Washington branch campus opened, which I thought there was a UW branch campus longer than that. Oh, I think that's when the community college opened. Yeah, because I think the UW Bothell's been around longer than that. And then some interesting facts. Well, Bothell is growing at such an alarming rate that it encompasses 2 counties, which makes for some confusing street configurations, evidently. I haven't really run into that issue yet, but I'll have to keep an eye out on that if I'm ever walking through Bothell. Now I feel a little bit actually just a little slighted, because they list some of the neighborhoods of Bothell, and you have Canyon Creek. Well, we know where that is. Canyon Park, that's pretty self-explanatory. Downtown Bothell, again, pretty self-explanatory. And then Fitzgerald, a southern extension of Canyon Park containing Canyon Park Junior High. I mean, I know where that is, but it doesn't seem to be that distinguished of an area to me. But and when I say that is because where we're located, I mean, we don't get any mention whatsoever. And then you have Lake Pleasant Country Village. See that? I wonder, Lake Pleasant is an RV park, and then Country Village is a tourist attraction. So that's a whole neighborhood in and of itself, I guess, and they're located across the street from each other. So that seems like an odd pairing, but I guess they are kind of close by. But I wouldn't personally consider that a neighborhood either. But I'm not. But then again, I never went to city planning school, so there might be some things that I'm not aware of that would change my opinion if I knew. And then there's Maywood Beckstrom Hill, and it says that it's on the hill north of downtown. Okay, I vaguely remember Maywood Hills because when I was like 5th and 6th grade, my baseball team practiced there. But gosh, if I was required to tell you how to get there, I don't think I could. Because I'm trying to think about it now as to okay, where exactly is it? I can visualize what the school looks like, but where it is and how to get there, I would be just completely confused. But it says it's by St. Brennan's, which I always remember being down the hill from Canyon Park Junior High. So maybe it's somewhere near. Okay, now that makes sense. Okay, I think I just got it. See, look, isn't that cute? Um, Now, there's some neighborhoods I wasn't aware of, like Norway Hill is a residential neighborhood overlooking downtown from the south. Most, but not all, of Norway Hill is outside the official city limits. I wonder if Norway Hill's by like where it almost turns into Kirkland. And then Pioneer Hills. That's a residential community on the hills east of North Creek that borders Woodinville. Okay, when you say borders Woodinville, then that's pretty easy to identify. And then Queensgate. Queensgate. I've heard of Kingsgate, but I never heard of Queensgate. And it says it's a residential neighborhood along Brickyard Road. Ugh. And I don't. Why did I say? Oh yeah, because I don't like that bus ride for some reason. But is that right, Queensgate, or do you think it's a typo, and they meant Kingsgate? Because I don't know. That just doesn't sound right to me. I know there are a lot of Bothell aficionados that are tuned into Facebook. So if you happen to be watching and you have some information that could expand upon what we've uncovered at this point about Bothell, please share it with the rest of us. If of course it is declassified. Then there's the river area. You know, I call it the river area. I think that's probably, in my opinion, probably the one of the neater parts of Bothell. And then, yeah, and there's some neighborhoods in there too. It's very quiet and peaceful back there, and there's like a trail and whatnot, so it's kind of cool. I think that's where the Burt Gilman Trail, kind of by the golf course and all that. But I think they're really designating like a lot of different places as neighborhoods. I mean, if you, according to this article, I'm just going to count. This would be pretty staggering. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 neighborhoods. That's a lot. But, yeah, I don't know. 17 neighborhoods. But then again, it holds 33,000 people, supposedly. And I also wanted to look. This sounds like I'm ill-informed, and I am, because I want to know whether or not that annex passed. It seems as if I heard lots about it before the election, and I voted for it, and then I just never heard another peep about it after the election results came in. I never heard results. I never heard anyone say anything about it. It seems as if, did everyone forget about it? Maybe. I don't know. But I really, so if we have any of our crack Bothell experts out there, yeah, let me know about that too. Whether or not the annex passed. Maybe I could be sitting on in what might be officially Bothell proper in the future, but still part of Snohomish County. So you know, that's always something that will always kind of haunt anyone who lives in the area I do. But it's too bad they couldn't realign the counties and make anything that was part of Bothell just part of King County as well. Just take us out of Snohomish County. I don't ever. Snohomish County is probably like, I don't know. I just don't like it at all. I actually think King County does it a lot better than Snohomish County. There's just a lot more. Seems like people who know what they're doing, whether you like them or not, as far as politically or whatever. It's just, I don't know. Go to King County and go to Snohomish County and tell me what you think. And I see a red message from Facebook. That must mean we're out of oil. Oh. Well, this is a pretty nice post by my friend Chris DeCaro. owner of Team Chaos, and he put it. They say with age comes wisdom, and quote, "Well, I've got a few years behind me, and I still can't figure this bleep out." So interesting to see what he's referring to, but that would be something that I would probably say on a daily basis, and it would apply to multiple things. And then, well, my mom would probably say it more than I would, and it would apply to even more things. Okay, and so I checked. That was just an update on his status. I'm glad we get a red message update anytime anyone changes their status. So, uncovering, examining Bothell. Uh-oh. I don't think I'm typing in my status. Whoops. Nope, that's the search as well. Sorry about that. And I think I just blew up the broadcast. Okay. Okay. So that ought to get everyone fired up. Okay. So some of the stuff that I include, I wasn't going to include, but it just, then I read it again, and it was twice as fascinating as it was the first time. And yeah, there's schools here. I don't really need to read that up, but I was kind of going to get into the cultural information. They have a Freedom Festival, which is a 2-day festival celebrating the 4th of July. Let's just shorten it. American independence, including a reenactment of the Battle of Concord on Bothell Landing Bridge. That might be pretty cool. And then there's the Music in the Park concert series every Friday in July and August at Bothell Landing Amphitheater. Oh, wish it was July and August right now. That would actually be a nice treat to just stand outside and be able to view a concert. And then there's the Greater Bothell Arts and Crafts Fair and City of Bothell River Fest. So those will give us something to look forward to when the weather starts to get nice, and we're looking for some fun and exciting things to do around here in the local community. The Summits of Bothell Bike Ride. Not sure exactly what that is. And then there's La Fiesta Viva, a celebration of Latino cultural heritage at Country Village. And Harvest Festival and pumpkin carving. So a lot of these events are at Country Village. So I guess Country Village is a place to be if you're in Bothell. There's a lot happening there. And then there's a tree lighting and Santa arrival at Bothell Landing, which I'm assuming that probably already took place. But so yeah, there's a few things that happen, kind of annual events based on this this information. And then there's some Bothell. It seems as if Bothell's got a lot better at sports in the last few years, and I'm curious as to whether that has something to do with population increase, or are they just have better coaches or better athletes? Who knows? But this is kind of an interesting tidbit about the football team in 2006 apparently had a nine overtime game, which tied a record in their playoff game. Okay, now I vaguely think I remember hearing something about that. And but I know they've lost like the championship twice. And then okay, apparently there's a hockey club, and they won for the school as a hockey team. That's kind of cool. And they won the state championship in 2007. And in 2007, the baseball team got to play at Safeco Field. That's pretty thrilling for the guys on that team to play on a pro field. And then there are actually their 4A team is, if I read this information correctly, they're the defending state champs because they won state in 2011. So I didn't know anything. I never heard a thing about it. I never saw any banners. I never saw any sort of acknowledgement of that. So that's kind of strange. And then popular culture. So there was actually a reference to Bothell in 1962 in Life magazine because there's they had a 112-foot Christmas tree, and at that time was the largest living Christmas tree in the world, right here in Bothell. Which I think most of the largest Christmas trees come from like southern Washington near Mossy Rock, so there's always a good chance somewhere around here could have a pretty prominent Christmas tree. Let's see. Apparently there's a nice aquatic center here. And in 2006 they won gymnastics state championships. So that's it. And then, oh yeah, gosh, I went back to sports. Oh, that was stupid. But now this, I'm not sure why it was put in here, because it says, in the 1996 Seattle rock documentary, Hype, photographer Charles Peterson recalls that when he was growing up in Bothell, the sign welcoming people to the town read, "Welcome to Bothell, for a day or a lifetime," and an unknown person spray painted over the bot so that the sign would read, "Welcome to hell, for a day or a lifetime." I mean, I think probably anyone who is capable of reading English has probably made that connection just when they've read that sign. But I don't know. I think I've watched that documentary, and I'm not sure if I remember them even referencing Bothell. So maybe I missed it. There's just some historical population crap. Basically, there's a lot more men than there are women in Bothell. So Bothell is a big sausage fest, which probably doesn't come as a surprise to anyone. Yeah, there's some biopharmaceutical companies. Woo woo woo. Yeah, whatever. Okay, now we're getting to the excitement. You're going to talk about the most notable residents from Bothell. Brian Alvarez, I don't know him, but apparently he's a wrestler, so he's probably a good wrestler. Kyle Cease, comedian and actor. Kyle Cease. Alright, so I'm going to put a little highlight by his name. I want to see what I can find when I type him in. Kyle Cease, like Kyle Stop. Michael Dahlquist, musician. I'll admit I don't want to admit everyone laughed at me, but I've never heard of him. Michael Dahlquist. Is that what all the kids are listening to these days? The Michael Dahlquist CDs. And the legendary Michael Dong is from Bothell too. A skateboarder. So I don't know if he's famous either. And then Corey Ingusen, aka Corel Engen, basketball player. I gotta look some of these up because I honestly I've never heard of any of these people in my life. Brendan Foster. I guess he was a boy that who had leukemia, but he was helping the homeless. I think I remember hearing something about that. Andrew Guledge, writer. So I gotta look him up too. And then this is a big one. Phil Harris, the late former skipper of the fishing vessel Cornelia Marie and star of The Deadliest Catch on Discovery Channel. I never knew he was from Bothell, Washington. So then he probably would go down as like one of the tougher people from Bothell. But I never knew that. So, and then Blake Lewis, he was an American Idol 2007 runner-up. And I remember the thing that really, I never watched the show, but I saw this kid's picture, And I always wondered if he had like a brother named Scott, because I swear I went to school with a kid named Scott Lewis, and he looked like him, like this kid, but this Scott would be a lot older, I think. And then, no way. You gotta be kidding. It also says Sanjaya Malakar, American Idol 2007 Top 7 finalist, attended North Shore Junior High. Well, you know what? Wow. Put a feather in the cap of North Shore Junior High. And Patty Murray is from Bothell, too. U.S. Senator. I didn't know that. And Tracy Ruiz Conforto is an Olympic medalist in synchronized swimming. So there's an Olympic athlete from Bothell. And Cody Votolato, the Blood Brothers Band. Again, not familiar. Chris Walla, musician, Death Cab for Cutie. That name, I have no clue. I'm going to look all of these up, though, and we will determine what the celebrities of Bothell are doing these days. But there's one name missing from here, and I'm quite remiss that it's not here. So whoever did this article did a pretty good job, but they really left out one really important person, and that's the Tommy Lee of Bothell. Nowhere from, this is a 9-page article, nowhere from start to finish is there any word about the Tommy Lee of Bothell. And I mean, the Tommy Lee of Bothell has lived here all his life, and I would say from probably as early as 1990 through now, there hasn't been no topic or news story or anything that has ever grabbed more attention than the Tommy Lee of Bothell does, his comings and goings on a daily basis. I mean, there's a real nice downtown area in in Bothell, as it mentions, and it's nice to go down there and get something to eat or drink. But sometimes Tommy Lee of Bothell likes to go down there, and then you get the big circus with the paparazzi, and parking's already a mess, and tensions get tight, and then the Bothell police get involved, and they're real trigger happy with their pepper spray. So I kind of try to avoid that nonsense. So yes, one of the prices to pay about being a celebrity like Tommy Lee of Bothell is you kind of create a crowd, and he has a lot of fans here too. He has a lot of fans in Woodinville, believe it or not. So I think that's kind of a lot of the troublemakers from Woodinville that come here to see Tommy Lee of Bothell, and then it just gets out of hand. So that's about every single thing about Bothell, Washington that I could find. And so I'm going to try to look up some of these people that I don't know who they are to see what their deal is. Because it'd be kind of funny if it was just some guy that was from Bothell and he just put himself on there. But who knows? Alright, now let's find another karaoke song. See the volume here? Check. Maybe it's working. I don't know. I'm just saving the last recording. I like to save them just so I can watch them to critique them. All of a sudden we are swimming in Sharpies, so. I think actually when I hit the desk it makes the internet go faster. That's what somebody told me anyways. And it'll be interesting when this is all said and done to test it. And actually, what I will do is just to keep track of what's going on. Once the hour has concluded, which would be in about 25 minutes from now, 25 minutes from now exactly, I will go back and review this before going on to hour 2, and that's presuming there is an hour 2, because I was really counting on doing talking about Bothell for the whole show, and I think I got so excited when I was talking about Bothell that I kind of raced through the material too fast, and now I've kind of hung myself out to dry. So we'll have to see what I can do to maybe make up for that now. Alright, that's fine. And then I'm going to save this, and we'll see how long that takes to save. And if it takes a long time, I'll hit the computer for you, for your viewing pleasure. Okay. And that was actually not that actually didn't take long at all. I'm quite impressed. And it's 9 o'clock, so any minute the rain could be coming down on my parade, as it does nightly, usually. Okay, get back into the songs. Sometimes I get like distracted by the people that sang songs and recorded it, because it's like just a big cross section of different people. So it's like if you're a people watcher, you have a whole page of just people from around the world. Okay. Oh yeah, we went to the back and now we're going to the front. What? No, I would never sing that song just because I didn't like it the first time I heard it. Worldwide Suicide by Pearl Jam. I don't know, it just didn't, just kind of, it was just like kind of like, I don't know, you know when you just take a bite of something and you don't know why, but you just don't like the taste. It was just like, I'm almost thinking they might have did a playlist update here, because some of these songs don't appear to be the same ones, which is great news. That means we have a little bit of variety to choose from, and I'm going to do a sports song. And I think I've done this before and butchered it, so let's see if I can do a better job on it this time than I have in the past. Walk of Life by Dire Straits. But as I'm seeing, based on the speed of the buffering, it might take quite a while to for this to buffer, so I might have a chance to tell you about a funny little situation. Okay, I'll give you a caveat warning. I don't do these very often, but this is one of the rare exceptions. I call these dick jokes. And one of the viewers the other night was saying something about, yeah, you need a beer, you'll feel better. And I said, yeah, but I don't even have one. And then I made a joke because I felt like that had a whiny tone to it, saying that I didn't even have a beer. So I made a joke and said, hell, well, I don't even have a blank, you know. And then the person responded, well, at least you have a sense of humor. And I said, well, actually, I actually do think I have 2 out of 3, and I'd probably trade both for a beer and a shot, maybe 2. And then I said, do you think I could get oh man. No, this doesn't work. Okay, so I pushed eject because I was just like telling it, and I was like, no, it's not funny when I'm actually saying it out loud. So, oh well, sorry. That was a preemptory, but I'll try to come up with something else for you. But it was a funny interaction. But anyways, there was kind of a back and forth about, well, I wonder if you could get the exchange rate ounce for inch, and someone made a comment, well, because the economy, maybe it's ½ ounce per inch, and then it said, well, yeah, well, you know, the old blank just doesn't go as far as it used to. Get it? And it has more than one meaning, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe I punched out of that one too quickly. I was scared. I'm scared to tell dick jokes. So maybe I can overcome my fear, and we can try that one again sometime. Once you've forgotten about this one. All right. Now, what song did I choose? I forgot, but I guess we'll find out soon enough. Oh yeah, now I remember. Trying not to butcher it. Alright, I didn't hear a garage door opener yet, so 8 minutes of extra bliss. Okay, now, while we wait for this to buff up, it would be a perfect opportunity to look up some of these bothell celebrities that some of these Bothell celebrities that actually warranted identification in a national article about Bothell as notable residents, and over Tommy Lee of Bothell, who, as far as I'm concerned, he is the face of Bothell, and by far, without question, probably the most notable resident, probably since I don't know, D. Hawks or Mark McKenzie. All right, so let's see here. What's this guy's name again? Brian Alvarez. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna tell you something here. There's only one famous person I even have ever heard of with the last name of Alvarez. Well, I could probably be proven wrong on that, but that comes to mind anyways. Right off the top of my head, Barry Alvarez, former coach of the Wisconsin Badgers. Miguel, I thought of somebody, but Miguel Alvarez from the TV show Oz. You remember him? Miguel Alvarez. He was a good character on Oz. Okay. Brian Alvarez. Well, he has a Wikipedia article. Alright. Whoa. 4 other people named Chico Alvarez. See Chico Alvarez. Disambiguation. I'm going to look up disambiguation to find out what that means, because I've seen it before, and it's kind of one of those long words that intimidates me. Brian Alki Alvarez. Sorry. Brian Alki Alvarez. That is beautiful. Born June 12th, 1975, is a semi-retired American professional wrestler and the editor and publisher of Figure 4 Weekly, a newsletter that had covered professional wrestling since 1995. Alvarez credits a portion of his pro wrestling training to wrestler Buddy Wayne and is credited in training Jack Evans. He was born in Bothell, Washington. In 2005, Alvarez launched Figure 4 Online, a subscription website run primarily by himself and his brother-in-law, Tony Leder. Leader? L-E-D-E-R. Leader, maybe. Leder? Depends, because I don't know if you're in Bothell or you're far enough south to go with Canadian pronunciation of Ledur or Leader. Are you going with the continental America pronunciation? I'm not sure. And it says here that Alvarez and Vinny Verhey produced their own I don't know how I got innocent internet podcast, The Brian and Vinny Show, where the pair review professional wrestling and mixed martial arts programming in an observational comedic style, similar to that found in the newsletter. The Monday night edition of the Brian and Vinny Show, or Wrestling Observer Radio, is free for anyone to download, while other editions done during the week are available only to subscribers of the website. On June 12, 2008, Dave Meltzer's Wrestling Observer website merged with Figure 4 Online, and both newsletters are available online through that website. Okay. Alvarez also hosts Figure 4 Daily, a talk show where he interviews guests related to professional wrestling or MMA, and Wrestling Observer Radio with Dave Meltzer. Figure 4 Daily airs new episodes Monday through Friday. Wrestling Observer Radio airs Monday. Okay, you know what would be nice is to tell us where. But it seems as if there are. It seems as if they must be doing pretty well if they can charge subscription fees. And then, this guy has written a book too. It says Alvarez's book, The Death of WCW, ECW Press, which he co-wrote with R.D. Reynolds, was released in 2005 and went on to receive critical acclaim, receiving the much sought-after Book of the Year in the Wrestling Observer Awards in 2005. And so, wow, this guy is the real deal. But I'm just going to finish because this gets pretty interesting. Alvarez serves as the host of the Wrestling Observer's live radio program. Now, I wonder, replacing Dave Meltzer, who now appears irregularly as a guest on the show, which airs on the Sports Byline Radio Network and Sirius Satellite Radio. No shit. Damn. Alvarez formerly co-hosted the show with Meltzer and is now joined most weeks by Mike Sempervive. Alvarez hosts Brian Alvarez After Dark, a weekend podcast covering various non-wrestling fringe topics, including science and technology. Jeez, this guy's like a media kingpin. UFOs, cryptozoology, and the paranormal. Alvarez is a former... Oh, well, this explains a lot. Alvarez is a former columnist for British Columbia Wrestling and MMA magazine, Fighting Spirit, as well as a former online correspondent to the Fight Network and the internet radio show Wrestling Weekly. And then it just says that Alvarez married Whitney Neugebauer. Gosh. Neugebauer? I don't know. Man, bothell is like a foreign country. I can't even pronounce the names. I wasn't born in Bothell, so I actually have a English name, Chris Leslie. I don't have one of these Neugebauer names. I wonder if that's Norwegian. Let's see. Okay, God, this guy is prolific, because then we're not even finished with Mr. Alvarez. He's currently a 4-stripe purple belt in Gracie Jiu-Jitsu under Pedro Sauer and Pedro Sauer black belt Justin Angelos. He's currently the head instructor of the adult Gracie Jiu-Jitsu program at Evergreen Karate Jiu-Jitsu in Bothell. He holds a blue belt in Shotokan Karate. Wow, so he's into martial arts as well. Brian's career has mostly been spent wrestling for various independent promotions in the Pacific Northwest. He appeared in the first match of the short-lived Portland Wrestling Television revival in 2003, losing to the Grappler. He was accompanied by a blonde valet, Miss Rent-to-Own Auto, who was named after one of the TV show's sponsors. Man, why didn't anyone tell me there was a Portland Wrestling review from 2003? I used to watch Portland Wrestling because I remember Lord Alfred Hayes. Return to the Ring. A fundraiser was held in which Brian stated that if he reached $400, he would do one more match with friend and former professional wrestler Vince Verhey. So Vince Verhey is a professional wrestler as well. He also stated that anyone who donated at least $25 would get a special DVD. The amount was surpassed and, in fact, exceeded $3,000, with donation amounts ranging from 1 cent to $250. And the scheduled match was posted on YouTube September 17, 2006, and the DVD released December 8th of that year. But, unfortunately, Verhey defeated Alvarez to win the YWF title, the main belt in Alvarez's original backyard wrestling organization in the mid-1990s. On March 17, 2007, Alvarez battled Larry Sweeney to a no contest for Sweeney's ICWA Texarkana Television Championship. Alvarez executed a German suplex, but both men's shoulders were pinned and the ref could not conclusively determine the winner. Alvarez agreed to a challenge made on Figure 4 Daily once Sweeney agreed to pay $7,500 to Alvarez. The title match was part of the inaugural Fight Sports Midwest card in Portage, Indiana. Sweeney and Alvarez promos are available on YouTube. We're going to have to check these guys out. Alvarez had announced that a rematch with Larry Sweeney set to take place on June 13, 2007 in Portage, Indiana had been canceled. Alvarez stated that the rematch would take place sometime in 2007. Alvarez further claimed that after beating Sweeney for his Texarkana championship, he was planning to rename it the Frank A. Gotch Memorial Collar and Elbow Pacific Coast Championship. Fight Sports Midwest announced on the 27th of September 2007 that the Alvarez-Sweeney rematch would take place at the November 18, 2007 Chikara show at the former ECW arena in Philadelphia. Wow, that's a big venue. And now it says now wait a minute. The rise of the Trailer McNailer. What is that? After Alvarez was favorably reviewed, the Derby City Wrestling television show and Figure 4 Weekly announcers Kenny Bolin. Wait a minute. That name Kenny Bolin sounds pretty familiar. Like, I don't know why, but it does. And Timmy Baltimore mentioned his reviews on the air, holding up a copy of the newsletter. DCW wrestler Ted the Trailer McNailer then came to the announcer's table, complaining that Alvarez disparaged McNailer's physique and intelligence, and then proceeded to challenge Alvarez to a match, insisting that he had an athletic physique. In subsequent weeks, he continued the challenges, insulting Verhey and Alvarez's granny, Alvarez's actual grandmother, and an occasional guest on the Brian and Vinny show. She was shown humorously attempting to raise money to bring Chico to Louisville, Kentucky, where DCW is taped. Wow, so these wrestling rivalries go all the way between Bothell and the Midwest. There's some serious tension associated with these. It's kind of exciting. Bothell's a lot more exciting than I thought, provided this guy's still here. On October 21st, Alvarez confirmed, and this is of 2007, that he would be wrestling 2 more matches in the same year. November 15th, he faced Ted the Trailer McNailer in the new Davis Arena in Louisville, Kentucky. And after a grueling 58-minute battle, wow, that's a long time, Alvarez managed to make McNailer submit to the sharpshooter. Alvarez then traveled to the former ECW arena for an event promoted by Chikara on November 18th, and he defeated Larry Sweeney with a super kick to win the ICWA Texarkana TV title. He lost it back to Sweeney on April 25th, 2008 in a 4-way match at ICW Super Indy in Pittsburgh, which also included Delirious and Ruckus. Wow. So that seemed like it was the height of his career, and then apparently he tried to make a comeback in 2009 after taking a year off because of a back injury, and he defeated Mike Santiago at the Tulalip Championship Wrestling event in Marysville, Washington, and at the Pacific Rim. Oh, and then in 2010, he lost a loser leaves town for 3 months match to Christopher Rysek. He is currently semi-retired. A loser leaves town for 3 months. What town is that, I wonder? I want to wrestle somebody in a loser leaves town match, and then I'll leave town for 3 months. That sounds like a perfect solution. Okay. His finishing moves: figure 4 leg lock, high angle Centron bomb, super kick. He's got a very wide ranging repertoire, and I'm not even sure what these moves are like. Ankle lock, I've heard of those. Moonsault, and his entrance themes are California Love by Tupac, featuring Dr. Dre. We know who that song. Wow. Who wrote? I want to see whoever the author is. Definitely was very, very comprehensive. Okay. There's a link to After Dark Radio, so let's check that out. What? Show on hiatus until January 2012. Well, that makes sense because there's probably you know, it's Christmas time. A lot of people go on vacation, and that makes sense. A lot of people wind things down around this time of year, get to spend some time with family, chill out, and then pick it up in the new year. So cool. All right, I'm gonna have to mark this page, but I wonder if there are any links to any previous broadcasts. No, but maybe this guy doesn't want to give any free links because he probably gets paid a lot of money to do this. He sounds like he's a pretty serious individual, but he has a Facebook page. Or wait, home, news, archive, past shows. Well, I actually got the page bookmarked, so let's look at his Facebook page because I'm dying to put a face to the name. All right. Like. All right. There's a link to his show, so let's check it out. Well, this guy, this looks like pretty interesting stuff. He actually isn't local in Bothell, it appears too, because he's got like local stuff here. That's pretty exciting. So there's actually people doing this in Bothell. I'm so glad I checked into this. I'm gonna probably have to do like a month's worth of shows just on Bothell now to get to the bottom of all this. Okay. Where? I'm curious to see where his radio station comes from. That's what I want to know. Huh. Alright, so we looked at his Facebook page. Now let's see about now this is just actually for After Dark. I don't think it's actually his personal. Let's see. I'm surprised it's not on Ustream. Past shows. Okay, we're waiting for it. Maybe while we wait, I can hear the difference in the past song from the key, from when I identified the key change. Well, I'm going to see where their contact page is. Huh. Oh, well. He's not. It looks like he's got just like his own thing. So looks like an interesting show. But After Dark, After Dark, there was I thought there was a show called After Dark with George Norrie, but I wonder where he went to school. Like did he go to Bothell High? I don't know. Let's go to the magazine, see what that says. Oh my gosh, that was the first hour, so We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll check out more about Brian Alvarez and everybody else, and from all the other famous Bothell celebrities. When we come back, I don't know if I'll have time to cover all these celebrities in one night, and let alone give Tommy Leo Bothell his just due.